Welcome home. We are WNST. Tassel, Baltimore. Baltimore Positive. We are positively on a gloomy day, on a rainy day, just maybe about a mile and a half from where the Key Bridge once stood, and about 2.5 miles from where I once stood as a young lad in Colgate. I smelled Dundalk coming in today, and I love it. I'm at Costas Inn. We're down here in beautiful North Point Road. I have brought my Raskin Global Empowering People to Choose Their Financial Future special crab mallet, and it's very special because it opens beers on the other side. Perfect
Absolutely.
for this is a patented item. Leonard Raskin is our guest. Our friends at the Maryland Lottery, if you can tell, I got lottery tickets here. I'm like the ticket guy. So anybody comes out, we're going to be at Pizza John's right over here in Essex 2 weeks from Friday for my 56th birthday. Lucas turns 42 next week during the playoffs, where he is credentialed and I'm not, and I'm sure that'll come up in this thing. The Ravens scratch-offs are here. We'll be giving them out 2 weeks from now at Peach John's. Also, our friends at Liberty Pure Solutions, putting the water together to make oysters happen. You and I are going to get some oysters Rockefeller today. Also, I'm going to have some crab soup and some shrimp and some other things. Leonard, you're wearing the Tucker jersey, so let's start with the fact that you're trying to be supportive one way or another, because by the time this airs, they'll either be 2-2 and life will be good, or they'll be 1-3 and we'll be on to the baseball team.
Amen.
But, you are the ultimate sports guy. This is a busy week for you. You're going to the games, right?
Absolutely.
I asked Luke,
football,
I'm like,
baseball.
are you more football or more baseball? And Luke gave me this look like I had cut the cheese. And he's like, it's the playoffs. Of course they're more important. They can lose the ball. They can do whatever they want. It's the playoffs and all that. I think the sizzle of the baseball thing, if the playoffs would have started the 4th of July, we'd have had some fire. I think it's lost a little of that. I think the Ravens could go a long way by winning on Sunday night to sort of kick off Tuesday.
Absolutely.
But the baseball playoff thing, once the shadows fall, Burns gets the ball. As we sit here, we think the Tigers are coming to town. I hope we don't write a different story between now and by the time this airs. But there's something about playoff baseball, and I talked to Wendy Bronfine from Curio about this, and because she's going to the game, her family's got tickets there. You buy all these tickets, you sit through all these games, all these years, waiting for that Delman Young moment. But that Delman Young moment in Game 2 of the World Series, not in the American League Division Series.
Not
climbing
in the wild
that
card
mountain
round.
And having moments for you. You're a longtime Caps fan.
Yeah.
Whatever those moments were along the line to them winning the Cup, we're both huge Ravens fans. We talk about Purple Rain 1 and you in Tampa and selling off your soul to your wife and getting her new furniture. That was 24 years. But it's those moments that we're trying to make. And the Orioles the last 60, 90 days, because of injury, because of this, that, whatever, there have been a lot of moments, right? Santander had a bomb, right? Holiday, right?
Absolutely, but it looks good when these hurt players come back to the lineup and start hitting. The offense appears.
Westy, Mountie, Adley.
You got the lineup in check. You got who's supposed to be in front of you, who's supposed to be behind you. You know who's hitting.
It's not Rivera and Slater.
They all had their moments where they contributed. So they kept us at what have we been, 500 for the last 8 weeks?
Less than that, but okay, yeah, a little less than that.
They kept us there. So, and oddly enough, at the same time, all the other teams had lousy runs too, or else we'd be way behind.
The cavalry of Rodriguez versus, let's say, getting Westbrook. I said to Luke back in August, I'm like, they're not getting all these guys back.
They are.
And then Mateo.
They are.
Well, they didn't get Grayson
back. Right, no, they're not getting Rodriguez back.
The guys that were on the field 4th of July, I'm talking about.
Look, but they got Eflin. Okay, he's you don't get Rodriguez back, but you got Eflin in the rotation.
Come Wednesday at sundown, that's going to be
big.
Whether he pitches well or not. I mean, he walked a bunch of guys the other night, but him and Burns without
his first time in his career. I didn't realize first time in his career he ever walked 5. Did you know that?
He's been in big leagues a while.
The dude said he's enraged when he walks guys. That's what you want from a pitcher,
right?
You don't want him out there. Well, I walked him. No. I walked a guy.
Certainly
that
not
was
on Wednesday.
Terrible.
Yeah,
and certainly not on Wednesday. But you got Burns, you got Eflin, you got Kramer. Dean's looking
great hair.
Good.
Great hair. I'm going to let it down just to honor. This is what I'm going to do.
That's right.
Dean, I'm honoring you right now because you're going to wind up because we're going to win one, we're going to lose
That's
one,
right?
I mean, probably,
no,
right?
He's going to
probably they're going to play Thursday, right? Especially if they get Scooble on Tuesday, right? So as you're listening, so I got my Dean Kramer hair. I mean,
there you go.
Did you see that Oriole hat?
Yes.
Yeah, the ski hat.
Yes.
That's the first piece of Oriole swag that I want that hat. I want to wear that hat when it's 54 degrees at Game 2 of the World
it wasn't
Series.
Very cold.
Right?
He had that
October
on.
28th. It's going to be a little chill out.
Why
in the
do you think
air.
he was trying to keep
He might
his
be
head
taking
warm?
the ball in Game 2. I hope all this is prescient 4 weeks from now when I come back.
I hope so.
So have you really looked? Because with Luke, and Luke's like, dude, you want me to be a journalist or you want me to be a homer? Like, you know, you scream about Masson and they all have to be homers. Melanie Newman has to think they're going to win the World Series, right?
Of course.
Like, so,
we all do. We have to.
I said, but Luke's like, they don't have enough bullpen. Like, they just don't.
Well,
like, there's just not enough bullpen.
Look, here's the bottom line. How long do your starters go? That's exactly right. We got to revert, right? We got to go back. We got to go back to 7-inning starters. Why are we doing 5, 6
like Jim
innings?
Palmer now,
We got to get a 7-inning Burns. We got to get a 7-inning Eflin. You got to get to the 8th and 9th. That's all you need. You don't need to take them out in the 5th. I hate this. I watched it for the last, I don't know how many years. You know better than me. These managers, I'm not just talking about the Orioles. I'm talking about all across major leagues. For some reason, they manage the postseason.
They've done the analytics on this.
They manage the postseason
they're
totally
managing
differently.
their assets, like just like you do with business.
No. They're managing they manage the season. You got to win. You know how you're going to win. I don't know why all of a sudden in the postseason you take your starter out in the 3rd inning. I don't get it. Let the guy pitch. He's a starting pitcher.
I think the numbers are second and third time through the order. Batting averages rise against starting pitchers.
I get it.
That Dean Kramer's 64th pitch should not be theoretically better than CNL Perez's first pitch against a left-handed batter in a tough spot if they got Soto next week or
in the
whatever.
In the olden days, we always used to see you only go to the bullpen if the guy you're bringing in is better than the guy you got in. And I don't see, like you said, I don't care if it's Perez or Bauman, whoever is Smith, whatever. I don't see how their first, second, 10th pitch is going to be better than Kramer, Burns, Eflin's 75th pitch. You gotta let these guys work and shorten the bullpen, and we win. You lengthen out the bullpen, I think we got problems.
So I got something here.
Okay.
Did you ever see Pulp Fiction?
You know what? I've never seen the whole movie.
What? Come on. So the Senator, it seems like the Senator's bringing back some classics, like they're doing The Shining in a couple of. I don't know. I used to know Kiefer. He's kind of out in the woods at this point, but I haven't been down there in a while. But if Pulp Fiction plays at the center or at a big screen,
it's on
at Alan McCallum's basement,
right,
where we're going to
watch it anywhere.
Network.
Obviously.
So you said you're old school.
Yeah.
Right. You're old school.
Yeah.
The movie Pulp Fiction, the first scene is this. It's a briefcase, and you still don't know what's in the. It's allegedly Marcellus Wallace's soul that's in the briefcase.
Okay.
But when it opens, it shines, and they all look at it, and they say, "We good. You don't know." So this here is a really important small item. So you say things that are valuable to you, or things that you would put in your safe that would be. And this definitely has some financial value. Like when I look at it, it will have some financial value.
Sure.
But it has more. God, I'm hugging it for the first time. It's spiritual value. I'm going to open it up for you because it really talks about. So we're at Costas. It's all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery in conjunction with the friends at Jiffy Lube Multicare. They put us out. I'm doing the Oyster Tour with Curio and with Liberty Pure, and Leonard Raskin provides me all sorts of things, including good financial advice here. My next segment today, I had to be creative today because we got a football game on Sunday. I want to make sure what we're airing during the week, during baseball playoffs, maybe something a little more evergreen. So my dear friend Teresa Gutierrez coming by. We're going to talk about Maryland Health Connection, which you would call Obamacare. So we're going to talk about healthcare later on. But in the middle segment today at Costas, I've been trying to get these guys on for, I don't know, a couple 6 months. They wrote a book about a coffee table book about something that I know is really near and dear to your heart and near and dear to my heart, and a thing that we share. And right before we came on the air, you pulled the old Don Moeller, maybe because we're in Dundalk. I bring a West Side guy over to Dundalk, like a Catonsville guy. And you started green rooming me about, we're going to talk about the NIL. And I said, we can't really talk about the football game because it's going to be over with by the time this plays.
Perfect.
So, and so it's good. So we have to... And Luke and you'll be on next week, and we'll talk about it. And I mean, there'll be plenty of time to talk about the Buffalo Bills and every day what the Orioles are about to go through. So I thought, what are we going to do today? And I invited these cats down, and then you said to me, it's hockey season. And I said, you know what, man? I threw 3 texts out late last night. And one, I sent 3 texts. 2 were to hockey people, and 1 was to another very special person of this season.
Yep.
I text Dougie McLean.
Sure.
And I said, I want to have you on my show. Let's tell some old war stories. I haven't heard from Dougie. Dougie, get back to me. You're a candidate up there. Gino Ubriaco.
Oh, yeah.
So I hit Gino.
Going way back.
Because, I'm getting my credentials denied, and I go back to the people who were so good to me and the people who were accountable. And you love hockey. You love the Caps, right?
Absolutely.
I love the Caps. I think about Brian Murray, Terry Murray's people. And the other text I sent that did get replied, and I'm not lying to you, I came back from the Oyster Recovery Partnership. I didn't drink anything, so I wasn't like cloudy. I went to bed early. I didn't even eat a lot of oysters. But at 2:52 a.m.,
oh, my goodness,
I got a reply. My email out was, yo, Coops, Nestor here. Just wanted you to know I'm thinking about you and hope you and the family are doing great. Warm memories, mate. Kenny Cooper texts me at 2:52 in the morning. Nestor, thank you for thinking of me. Still alive and kicking after all these years. Irene and the family, we're all well, thank God. So I heard from Cooper. So I didn't even invite Cooper on the show.
Right.
I just wanted to check in on it.
There you go.
But I want the other guys on to talk some hockey. And then you said Ovechkin.
There you go.
And I screenshot the picture of him because the other day was picture day.
Yep.
Dude,
Yep.
you look younger. You are a silvered-haired, handsome devil. I say that because he's my client. But you look younger than Alex Ovechkin.
He's looking old for a hockey
player.
player.
Dude, it's crazy how, what has happened? Now, he's playing for, all sorts of records and all the Gretzky stuff.
The greatest scorer in hockey history.
Hockey history.
Absolutely. Could happen this
He's not
NHL
the greatest player.
season.
I saw Gretzky play.
I said greatest scorer.
Right. Where do you put him?
Goal scorer.
You going to play this LeBron Michael Jordan game with me?
No? We're just talking stats, goal scorer.
Do you think if you had to take one hockey player, you're an old school hockey guy.
Gretzky would be my first
guy. Just making sure that you're not wearing a
look. If you're
wearing a purple 9 and a red 8. But
I think if you took all, I don't know you probably know the statistic exactly. If you take all of Gretzky's goals away, I think he's still the leading scorer in the history of hockey with his assists. Versus anybody else. The guy was
Babe Ruth.
Was unbelievable.
Yeah. And Lemieux
followed him great. Fantastic player. But Gretzky was by far the greatest player.
There should
be
no
most
argument
creative.
about that.
No argument whatsoever.
And this Ohtani thing that's going on.
Oh, my goodness.
Right,
that dude.
We're getting into a different territory with that
50,
cat, right? And I would say the same thing for whether you're LeBron, whether you're Michael Jordan, whether you're Will, whoever you're into. Is he going to be
55 before it's over?
We got a weekend.
53?
Who's he hitting off this weekend?
I don't know. He's 53.
I know this. They're going to take a couple days off.
Well,
because,
that could be. That could be.
But
just think of the fact that this dude is 50-50, and he's a pitcher.
They're playing in Colorado. He's going to get a couple this weekend.
He's a pitcher. He's going to establish the 55-55.
Not a pitcher, a Jim Palmer kind of pitcher.
He's an amazing pitcher. The dude is a stunning pitcher.
You have to say you've seen him play.
I saw him play.
I have something in here that you're really going to like.
Last season, we've talked about this. Last season, I took the family, the boy, the wife. We went to the Angels when he was with the Angels.
Oh, okay.
In the O's, the dude crushed a home run. I'm sure if there wasn't a pole there.
Luke's still talking about it.
If there wasn't a pole there, it would have hit Boog Powell in the head. I mean, it was smashed. It was unbelievable. And he threw like a 3-hitter, 7-inning against us. 2 of them were home runs.
So you would say on that night when you went to the ballpark,
stunning to
you've
watch.
Watched baseball 50 years like I have.
Yeah,
I've seen Jim Abbott pitch with one arm.
Absolutely,
right?
I saw that.
My dad played baseball against Pete Gray when he was a little boy.
I played catch with Jim Abbott.
Did you?
That was very cool.
Oh, how about that?
We were
love that.
at a business conference in L.A., and part of the business conference was a trip to the stadium for lunch, meet Jim Abbott, and he threw batting practice under the stadium in the cage. It was surreal.
I don't know if anybody could be more inspirational than him.
He was
the fellow from the Buccaneers, the linebacker that played without a hand, right?
Yeah. He and his brother.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of
but
I'm playing without a finger and people think it's crazy, right?
But pitching without it was phenomenal. He fielded. He threw a no-hitter. But so I got to see him and play a little catch. But Ohtani was otherwise. And what I didn't know, because wasn't thinking this way, they took him out. I don't know if it was 6 innings, 7 innings. They took him out at 6 or 7 innings.
And he still hit a home run after that.
And he was the DH, so he still got to hit. That was insane. He came.
I have never been to a ball game where that happened, where a guy pitched and hit a couple of home runs, and pitched 7 innings.
It was ridiculous.
And Deion Sanders, Bo Jackson, right? I mean, we're talking about.
If Bo hadn't ripped a hip, that might have been the best athlete two-way.
I had Dan Shaughnessy on the show back in the summer talking about the Red Sox, the Orioles page. You can go check it out at Baltimore Positive. By the way, we're with Leonard Raskin. We're down here at Costas doing a Maryland Crab Cake Tour presented by Maryland Lottery in conjunction with Jiffy Lube. And I'm going to get to the box in a minute, but he said the words Danny Ainge to me. And I saw Danny Ainge play baseball.
Okay.
And I saw Danny Ainge play third base at Memorial Stadium.
Right.
And then he played for the Celtics and won a championship.
Right.
So I feel like I've seen some.
You know what? I would say
Brian Jordan from your neighborhood.
Yes.
From Randallstown.
Milford Mill man. I would say baseball, basketball, okay. But football, baseball, ridiculous. The massive hits
Tim
your body
Stoddard
takes.
was a great basketball player. I mean, there's a couple of guys that had the basketball, baseball. Didn't we draft a guy? Didn't we draft a guy that was a Notre Dame basketball player? The Orioles. The Orioles had a pitcher. The Orioles had a guy that was a Notre Dame basketball player. They never made it, right? A couple 10 years ago. 15 years ago. Yeah. So I'm
back
thinking,
to hockey. Gretzky is it.
Back to hockey.
Gretzky was it.
Gretzky was it.
And I got to, the sad part for me was, he played for the Oilers. He played for Edmonton.
He played for the Edmonton Oilers.
So you only got to see him.
I'm looking through my box now. You're not allowed to look at the box.
So
don't look at the box.
So I only
don't
got
stare
to,
at the
I'm
box.
not looking at the box.
Don't stare at the box.
I'm not looking at the box.
You're not going to look at the box.
So I only got to see him play once every maybe other year or so.
Who did he play for?
Edmonton.
The Edmonton Oilers.
Oilers, absolutely.
What does that say there?
What does that say there? Working Press.
What
Capitals versus Edmonton. When was this?
This was November the 12th, 1985.
There you go. He was there.
Damn right he was there. And I got my byline after, and I went to his locker after, and he talked to me. And
he was amazing.
So this is my press pass from – and the reason this is important, and I want to take a break because I have to pee, and we're at Costas, and they have free beer here for me. They brought me shrimp. Hold on. Wait, give me these shrimp over here. Hold on a second.
Is that the oxymoron?
I gotta tell you,
is that an oxymoron?
These are
jumbo shrimp.
Right.
Like jumbo.
I want to, yeah, well, right, of course. I want to show this. I don't want to get my press pass screwed up with it. But I was going to New Orleans for 25 years, back to the 90s. I've been going to New Orleans. And I would go to the Acme Oyster House.
There you go.
And I would, months, I would look forward to going to the Acme Oyster House. And a lot of people would tell you they would go there to get the grilled oysters. I never had an oyster. I've never had an oyster in New Orleans before I went to Drago's for the grilled oysters that you know about in the Hilton, right?
Yep.
So for years, my wife and I, when we courted, fell in love. We kind of fell in love in New Orleans. Like I remember it, being in the streets. We went to the Acme Oyster House to get their shrimp. And then about 2 years ago, I'm here, and I saw fried shrimp on the menu like a blind spot on the menu. Like oysters have been a blind spot on my menu for years because I just order the shrimp, right? I order the crabs. Right. Here you get the crabs or the crab cakes or the whatever you get. Oysters Rockefeller's delicious here. The shrimp, the spinach is delicious here. So I got this about 2 years ago, and I took one bite of the shrimp, and I'm like, Pete, that's the Acme Oyster House batter. I've been 25 years, and I live in Dundalk, and you're my friend. I
never ate it here.
I never had fried shrimp here, and now the last 2 years,
that's your thing.
It's like I get these to sort of start the party, and sometimes I'm so full because they're not shrimp; they're jumbo shrimp.
They're jumbo shrimp.
So
now, do they have the char grilled oysters here?
No, I don't know. I'm gonna have to talk. I don't.
Because that's my favorite. That's my go-to.
I'm gonna get. Have you ever had the oysters Rockefeller here?
I'm not a spinach guy. But
are you like Rex Ryan? Do you not eat vegetables?
I try to not partake of too much.
Rex Ryan, we did shows from Bruce Chris, and Rex would brag that he hadn't eaten a vegetable since 1996 or something.
I do carrots. I do green beans.
Is that lettuce? I'm not eating.
I'm not eating lettuce.
Is that broccoli? I'm not eating.
I'm eating broccoli.
So I don't.
I'm not a salad
What do you
guy.
think is in the box?
I don't know. It looks like press passes from the looks of that one.
Ooh, so you think it's just press passes?
I don't know. What you got? You got pictures? You got show and
Here's
tell?
What I'm going to do.
Tell.
Here's what I'm going to do. It's hockey season.
Yes.
If we could change one thing about our lives other than having Phil Jackman be with me and lucid and being able to go, if there's one thing left in my life that I could do over again, it would be to get in my car, go down the BW Parkway, get off at 495, get off at exit 17A or B.
Go to the Cap Center.
And go to the Capitol Center one more time in my life. Seeing these people in Oakland this weekend, right, to know that I'm, right, going to Memorial Stadium with my dad again. But I love the Capitol Center. I love my many, many, many memories of the Capitol Center.
It's a great place.
And I got a guy named Kevin Leonard coming over. He's done a coffee table book on the Capitol Center.
Oh, very cool.
And he's coming over when you and I are done, and we're going to sit and we're going to do our thing. And we're going to talk about the Capitol Center.
Awesome.
So when I come back, I want to talk to you about the Caps, Capitol Center, concerts. And I'm not even – this is not in any way a box of press passes.
Is it a box of Capitol Center?
It's just a box of awesomeness.
Okay.
That's what awesomeness, hashtag, NES, awesomeness. Leonard Raskin is our guest. We're here at Costas. People are bringing me signs up. He's getting the Oysters Rockefeller as my recommendation.
There you go.
Well, you're going to be one happy man, sir. I'm going to tell you right now.
There you go.
You're getting the Oysters Rockefeller. My friend Leonard Raskin helps put us out on the road despite the fact that I am a bad guy, according to the Orioles, and I'm not having a press credential this week. So we will not be covering practice on Wednesday at the Ravens because they have not allowed me to come out. When I use the word discriminate, people get crazy, but they have been discriminatory in saying he can come and you can't come. Now, why? I don't know. It's for you to ask Chad Steele, but I will not be there Wednesday. I will not be with the Orioles because I have been denied credentials, but Luke will be there. Luke is approved in both places, but I can't really cut him in half and send half of him to Ravens practice and half of him to the Orioles. So he'll be at the Orioles game. Leonard Raskin is here. He empowers people to choose their financial future.
Amen.
He also has a great crab feast coming up in a couple weeks for his friends and clients where he gives out these incredible crab mallets that allow you to open a beer. I'm going to do this. I'm going to open a beer on the air because if Mr. Costas comes over here, he's going to bring me a draft. And I'm going to say, no, I need a bottle.
Right.
So we'll do that.
It's not a
twist. Do you know what's in here?
I do not.
All right. I'm going to tell you when we continue.
Okay. I'll be ready. I won't peek.
People say online, like, why do you put the pictures up of you with the oyster menu and you don't say where it is? And I'm like, I'm in the radio business. We're in the breadcrumb business. I need people to listen to your commercial.
Right.
So we get to the next side. Leonard Raskin is here. It's all brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. Everyone in the room, including Mr. Oysters Rockefeller over here, is going to get a Ravens scratch-off from the Maryland Lottery. I'll have these on the 11th as well. We'll be at Pizza John's in Essex, just around the corner and down the road. It's Luke's birthday, my birthday. We are crossing our fingers. When's your birthday?
The 12th.
I'm the 14th. Yeah. We're going to celebrate your birthday, too.
Absolutely.
Are you coming to Pizza John's?
I think I am.
Have you had Pizza John's before?
I have never.
Oh, we're going to lead. That's going to be the lead story we come back in. Have any of you folks not had Pizza John's pizza? Are like, really? Yeah, right. I mean, everybody in Dundalk knows about Essex, even though we go in and we leave. I wouldn't stay in it. I wouldn't, because I'm from Dundalk, I am Nestor. We're back for more. We are in Dundalk. I'll be nice to Essex. Come on, Brett, Michelle. You know I love you guys in Essex. My parents got married in Essex. My parents' first home when they were married in 1945, they got married in Mount Carmel Church. You can walk there from Pizza John's. And their first home was at Mars Estates at Joe's and Hand Corner where the Salvo Auto Parts is. My parents' first home, and when they fell in love and made babies, it was right there at Mars Estates.
There you go.
So Pizza John's.
Right there.
I love you, Essex, but I'm not allowed to say that in Dundalk. Back for more from Costas right after this. I'll get the Patapsco, too.